Hello and welcome to Black Dragon Gaming. My name is Chaos Hero. All my friends call me Cat, and you can too. It is Weeb with Thursday
Weeb
because we
Thursday.
were we had the sleepy bitch disease yesterday.
Yes,
So
we had the sleepy bitch disease, primarily because I went to a museum yesterday, and it was
I
good
also
fun.
had sleepy bitch disease yesterday, and I don't know why. I slept like fucking 18 hours yesterday.
Uh, Chronic illness is a bitch.
I fucking guess, yeah. So I slept like I don't know, like 14, 15 hours on the first just like burst of it, I guess. Fucking, I woke up several times during it, of course, but that's normal for someone with fucking chronic insomnia and also loud ass cats. Uh, and then I stayed up for a couple hours after that. And then I just fucking passed out again. Didn't get up again until midnight. So I actually didn't get to do like literally any of my physical therapy yesterday because of that.
Oof. But yeah, had a good time. Got to see various exhibits. You can
Yeah,
trust.
you were sending me pictures of some of them, or at least not the ones in the exhibit, but
Yeah, though the
some of the
one was
artists,
in the
I think.
exhibit, but the rest of them are just by that same artist.
Okay, okay.
Uh, and yeah, you can usually trust museums to have stuff for queer artists and black artists and actually care. At least an art museum.
Honestly, I wouldn't know. I don't think I've been to a museum or even really thought about going to a museum in like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah,
Hi,
honestly,
fat boy. Hi, Phoenix.
like I do understand you're in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
I mean, I'm relatively close to Roswell. Actually, I'm sure there's museums in Roswell or Albuquerque, maybe. I don't know.
Fair enough. That's true enough.
Hell, there actually might even be some here, and I just don't know about them.
Yeah.
Because the town I'm in is pretty famous for its caves and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
So
So there might be some things on that at least.
okay. There actually is an art museum here. It's with permanent exhibits on local and regional artwork and artifacts. So it's sort of like an art history, it's the art slash history, not art history, but
Yeah. Interesting.
yeah, it's a art and museum and art center. It's the oldest municipal museum in New Mexico, apparently.
Huh.
I figured there might be one because like this is a pretty old town, even if it's not very big.
Yeah, that's fair. But
And like
yeah.
it really is famous for its caverns. Like
Oh yeah,
you
like I
could probably
believe
like
you.
search New Mexico caverns and then like find where I am based on that. That's how famous they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, but yeah, just it's a bigger city in Ohio that we went to. Uh, so it's right there next to the College of Art as well.
I haven't been to an art museum since I was like, I want to say 14, 13, 14, something like that. It was a an art field trip for my art class when I was in junior high.
Oh, nice.
I actually found a few artists that I really liked there, and I don't fucking remember who they are.
Oh no.
So, fuck me, I guess.
Yes. Uh, yeah, they had specific exhibits on view from that were queer artists, uh, like African artists, specifically like pointing out, yeah, a lot of these were removed from their religious context. And
Yeah, I fucking bet. You're okay, Phoenix. Shut up.
yeah,
Go away. Be gone. Be gone, ye fool. Shoo, you little freak. Go. He's just like cringing away from the spray bottle, but he won't actually get the fuck off the desk. Go, you piece of shit. There. All right, he's gone. We're gonna be dealing with that for a little while, just because like he wants to be in my lap right now because I'm talking.
Yeah, let's see. An exhibit on queer modernism.
Queer modernism. I am not nearly like educated on fine arts enough for this. I don't know
That's
what the
fair,
fuck
but
that actually means at all.
yeah, and it even says modern is kind of an elastic term, the same way queer is. It really just emphasizes the distinction from traditional forms of culture, but has no easy definition or singular expression of its own.
Okay, this explanation actually like makes sense. So it's the works in this gallery, among them some of the most significant in the museum's collection, are by artists who participated in gay and lesbian culture in the early decades of the 20th century. It's just like, yes, okay, I understand that now. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and
I have just enough art, art, fine arts education to understand what that means. Gotcha. I understand.
yeah, and there's some good examples in here in general.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these. Some of them are pretty good.
Yeah, I'm still not good with like art that has abstract shapes necessarily, mostly because I'm not really good at reading those as well
Yeah,
and,
I don't.
and getting a vibe from
I'm
them.
not good at that either. And like you'd expect me to be good at it because like I actually took classes in this shit. No, no, it's never made sense to me. Like
Yeah.
more abstract stuff like the Survivor that I'm looking at here. Like I have no idea.
Yeah, granted the Survivor at least I can kind of get it, in the kind of
Like it might be
walking
like a
through
Normandy thing.
yeah, uh like kind of the walking through barbed wire of society. I'm more talking about the one by m- what is that? Marsden Hartley pre-war
Oh
pageant.
yeah, I have no idea what the fuck that is.
Yeah, like at least I can make some guesses with the Survivor just by the way it looks. And there's a figure here, and there's what looks to be like netting or barbed wire. I can kind of get that.
Yeah, some of the posts look a little bit like bones, like femurs.
Yeah.
That's all I got. It's like it's a beach. There's barbed wire. There's a dude with the classic like military haircut of the time,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's all I got. I see an owl up there. I have no idea what the fucking the owl means.
Oh, okay.
But
So
yeah, I'll just go ahead.
here's another thing. A lot of his artwork, this Paul Cadmus guy, was fucking egg tempura as a medium.
Fucking all right, I guess.
Because I remember I saw another one of his works at there, and I did remember reading. Oh yeah, this is uh like let me grab this one. Like this one here, I know for a fact is egg tempura on muslin.
I think I can tell, but I've never painted with anything like that, so I don't. My ass got to like oil and acrylics and shit. Went, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then now I haven't painted traditionally in fucking like 12 years, 13 years, something.
Yeah, but there's definitely some interesting stuff that this guy has made. So, in the one I'm showing Cat is one from the 1920s, 1930s, uh, for the Hudson Bay Fur Company, and showing like a vaudeville or burlesque show.
Yeah, that seems roughly accurate. So what else were you up to
Uh,
since we streamed last?
well, Clear Obscure Expedition 33.
How far did you get in that anyway?
Um, I've gotten through a little bit of Act 2 now,
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
but I literally did nothing yesterday other than the art museum.
completely fair. I understand.
Yeah, walking around for hours, and I'm not used to that anymore.
I think I've actually told you like pretty much everything I've done already. I think it was Saturday. There was a really bad pollen day for like tree pollen in my area, and that fucking killed me damn near. I
Yeah,
didn't know that like you could get sore neck muscles from blowing your nose too much.
I did not know that either. Fuck.
Yeah. I'm sure I even still sound a little bit like I'm stuffed up. Like it's taken me fucking ages to like, actually clear everything out properly. Uh, but it was so bad it was literally dripping down my face. Like right after I blew my nose, it would just like keep going. It
Ugh.
was just tremendously awful.
Yeah, like I remember looking at the pollen count and like, fuck.
Yeah, like my eyes still fucking itch. Like 4 or 5 days later, it's fucking awful. So I did absolutely nothing but like I think I just like caught up on some comics that I was at one point actually like reading actively. Uh, but the fucking site that I was reading them on decided to do some fucking premium coin shit. And I'm just like, buddy, you're already pirating the shit. You're not getting me to pay you a goddamn cent.
Yeah,
I don't care. I'll go somewhere else. Fuck you.
yeah. And then the thing I had sent you a message about just a little bit ago, Vice doing a fucking article on vice and violence, the not safe for work RPG. I'm like, okay. Didn't expect like an indie thing like that to get a shout out from at least a publication I've actually heard of.
Actually like those image that they used in the article a lot. That's really good.
Yeah,
Getting
that's
the kind of whatever's down there is going to be worth it, worth going down there vibe.
yeah,
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 I get that feeling a lot.
yeah,
Pretty much anytime I look at a cave, it's like, nah. I'm sure there's some real cool stuff down there. Ain't worth it.
yep. And then also seeing the article of, yeah, VTubing has a big elephant in the room, bigotry. I'm like, all right, you're really suiting to my needs and situations now, there, Vice.
Fucking yeah. And it's true too. It's weird, but true.
Yeah, you would think not a problem, but no, like we've got actual neo Nazis. Like some of them try to hide behind it, going tee hee. It's just a joke. I don't know what you're talking about. That a lot of those far right fuckwits like to pretend to do.
Yeah. gods.
Yeah, it definitely. Uh, but yeah, Clear Obscure, excellent RPG.
I just wish that I could make my own character.
Yeah, that's fair. But I do think, at least in this case, it's a little bit better because it's not like Gustav is a blank slate. He's got a history to him. He has certain values.
Hold on, my cat just knocked his fucking food bowl off the table. It's empty, so I don't gotta pick anything up. I gotta get it before I forget it's there.
Yeah.
Hold on, Phoenix. I'm gonna pick it up. Yes. Ah, it is. There. Anyway, I don't know. It's just I like he's got a history and everything, but it's not enough. At least from what I saw, I would be more interested in playing it specifically for the mechanics to try and like tease them apart and figure out why it works that way
Yeah, that's fair.
than anything else. And like, I definitely fucking loathe that they call her the paintress. Are you fucking
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah. I can only assume it is, well, most things in French are gendered. So, yeah, it's probably gendered in French, and they decided to gender it in English. That's the only thing I
Like,
can think.
annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like, even stuff like fucking huntress annoy the fuck out of me though. So it's just I don't know, man. Like, do you really got to specify that? Does it actually matter? Is it part of the character? Is it part of the story? If it's not, then it doesn't really fucking matter.
Yeah.
That you don't really need to specify. You could just use the commonly accepted gender neutral,
Yeah, I
which
think
is
that,
unfortunately in a lot of cases the masculine, but still.
yeah. I think it does matter to some degree, because some of the creations in this world are saying, yeah, I was created by a mistress, but it's not the person that you call the paintress. And just specifying, yes, they're both women, but I get a look at the person that's, you know, knelt down by the tower, and I go, no, that's not my creator.
I mean that's fair, but also you still don't need to gender the actual title itself for that.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fair.
'cause we do
I
have gendered pronouns even in English, so I just don't find that to be particularly necessary. And like 99.9% of cases, people just do it because reasons. Like, I know at one point in time it was more common to gender words by adding the S on the end of it, but it doesn't it's not really a big thing anymore. We can leave that behind. Thank you.
yeah, I'm definitely
I don't need
for,
to be reading
English.
vampiress, all right? I don't fucking need it.
Yeah,
It's an
like,
improper conjugation usage into gendered anyway, because like vampire isn't even gendered in the first place.
yeah.
And even if it is, it's not from a damn it.
Yeah.
Now now I'm getting on the linguistic rant again. Ah
So yeah, getting into some of the stuff we were talking about with Record of Lodoss War, this is going to have some spoilers for uh the novels. So if you don't want to
yeah.
hear that, uh,
Yeah,
uh,
probably tune out of this one, or at least this section of it while we're
yeah,
talking about Record of Lodoss War.
Yeah, because we kind of talked about, because we really didn't like Deedlit being kidnapped in an episode
Yeah,
that's
that's
coming.
fucking like you don't do that. Don't kidnap a hero to just use them as a damsel.
Yeah, and the thing of it
Like, first
is,
off, you just don't do that, and secondly, like, especially don't do it to a woman.
yeah,
We've seen that enough. Thank you.
yeah, granted, age of the thing, but
Yeah,
I don't even think she was kidnapped in the original novel.
and like to make things worse, like they fucking put her in a different outfit because that's what you do in pulp fantasy. But Record of Lodoss War isn't pulp fantasy; it's epic fantasy.
Yeah, and
It's not.
yeah, and it really like. And yeah, I'm looking for any reference to kidnapped in Deedlit's wiki, and nothing. So yeah, I don't think she was kidnapped ever in Record of Lodoss War.
It's just fucking like early adaptations just do that, and like there's a reason we don't do it anymore
Yeah,
because it's kind of garbage.
yeah, because what it did for you folks at home, they squashed down things super hard. Because
Yeah, like 20 years of timeline squashed down,
yeah,
kind
because
of shit.
who was supposed to be kidnapped? Lelia's daughter.
And by making this change, they like fucking completely erased the reason why Carla kidnapped Lelia in the first place.
Yeah, which was to
I'll
keep
give you
her.
a hint: it's not because she needed a powerful vessel.
Yeah, it wasn't that. It wasn't just that she needed a powerful vessel. I'm sure it
Like we,
helped.
we definitely get that with like her just hanging out in wood this entire time.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that's canon. Him hanging out in wood, or her hanging out in woodchuck. That's canon because he just fucking, the player takes it. Also, I really like this. I think this is a bit of art from the actual novel.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Them fucking like forearm length ears still bother the shit out of me, but yeah, it's fine, I guess.
Yeah, like seeing it
I
in a
guess.
different style is neat.
I just want to know how like leaf shaped ears went from like it started at leaf shaped ears and became that over like 50 years. How the fuck did that happen?
I don't know.
I guess they're still fucking leaf shaped if you want to like consider like a palm frond.
Yeah. And let's see here. In the original record of, or in the original Sword World, she'd count as a shamanist fighter.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, which I mean, yeah, that kind of fits the category. Yeah, I'm looking at her wiki and it just has her class right there.
Of course, at Sword World 2.x, she's definitely like Fencer Fairy Tamer.
Yeah. Something along those lines. Like, I'd have to look at how they statted her out again. But definitely Fairy Tamer and definitely Fetzer, more than likely.
Yeah, because she doesn't wear heavy armor, so she's not a uh, fighter.
But yeah, they even say, oh, yeah, only in the OVA, which is what we were watching, does her being a high elf with immortality get her to become a target of Wagner. Because yeah, and also he did not need the Staff of Domination. He needed something else from the Dragon's Horde.
She's also a marksman in 2.x. I don't know why specifically, but
Well,
she is.
well, I mean, she does use a bow in some circumstances.
I don't remember this at all, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, let's see. He needed the Soul Crystal Ball and the Staff of Life, along with a maiden with the soul of a high priestess of Hardis, which actually makes sense. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's what Lelia is. Lelia was actually abandoned by her parents, and Nice just picks her up.
See, that would be pertinent information to the overall storyline of Record of Lodos War. But I guess they cut it because reasons.
Yeah, because of reasons.
Honestly, I don't think a lot really happens in episode 11. It's mostly like yeah, how do I even describe that? Because it's like it's mostly like people talking, which honestly describes a lot of what's going on here. But like, still, it's mostly just people talking. Let me see. Let me skim through it real quick. I just watched it. But skip that intro, please. Thank you.
Yeah, like we
Yeah,
get.
there's like sweet touching moment between Parn and fucking Deedlit, which isn't all that touching actually, because the older anime did this a lot, but like basically the pacing is just so fucking rapid and quick that you don't really get time to settle into a character
Yeah,
and
you
their
really
relationships.
don't care too much about the romance aspect. Like, I kind of, I still like the characters more or less.
Yeah, but like there's so little space given to the development of their relationships that it's just sort of like, all right, I guess we're going here.
Yeah.
I guess the immortal elf is going for like the fucking 18-year-old. Sure, why not? Yeah, thanks, Japan.
Yeah, sure, I guess. But granted, I think that is probably accurate. But yeah, we do get Ashram being alive.
Yep. And like I thought like the cursed sword fucking saved him at first, but then like Carla pops up from the shadows. Like she was just like waiting in the depths of the cave that Ashram woke up in and just waiting for him to wake up so she can like stand just out of sight, like talk to him all ominous. And then lean into the light and reveal herself, Like it's
Yeah.
it just gives me such a fucking giggle thinking about that. Like she's just in the back of the cave pacing back and forth, like, when this motherfucker gonna wake up? Come on, come on.
Yes. Also, we do in the novels get Woodchuck's actual name, which is Jay Lankard.
Fair enough, yeah. So episode 11 is pretty like I said, pretty much all talking, but there is some stuff like set up here. Like Cashew sends out messengers to the various city states and nations of Lodos to like be like, hey, we got some real shit going down. Like now's the time. Get your armies over to Marmo, like right now. And somewhere close to the latter half, like I think it's the last third, we get the scene of fucking advisor Wangrod kidnapping Deedlit because, of course, you
Yeah.
gotta have a damsel for a fantasy of this time. But you actually don't, because it's epic fantasy, not pulp fantasy, but whatever.
Yeah,
The
and I
adapters turned it
mean,
into pulp fantasy from this last bit,
also just have him kidnap Lelia if we're just doing this again.
right?
Like, yes, it would suck for a game, but it would also give them every other reason to go, like, Geem's sacrifice cannot mean nothing.
Yeah. Like you could still make it make sense by doing that, but they didn't. They kidnapped Deedlit instead. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yep. They just came up with a
Especially since
super.
the reason that they use is that like her as a high elf has the like the immortal life to resurrect a goddess and everything. It's like bullshit. She's still mortal. All right. As when it comes to like gods and mortals, elves are still solidly on the mortal side. It doesn't matter how long they live.
Yeah,
They're
like
not
sure,
gods.
you've got eternal life. So you would make a better vessel than somebody who lives only, 50 years. But still,
Yeah, absolutely. And they're not even talking about using her as a vessel or anything, but actually just like the sacrifice to bring her back,
yeah, just absorbing her lifespan, essentially.
which is absolutely ridiculous. Like a deity would burn through something like that in like moments.
Yeah, because you need the extreme amounts of mana. And they dropped having the two magic items that were actually used. Because,
Especially since fucking advisor Wangrod destroys the scepter of domination later instead of using it as a fucking battery for the goddess.
yeah,
Is like, then what the fuck did you get it for, asshole? Damn it. The rest of the anime is really good. I'm just gonna shit on this last arc. That's all this is, all right?
yeah,
I can see why the rest of it became the classic that it is, so influential and powerful across like both Japan and the US in terms of like shaping popular fantasy, Like I get it, but this last fucking 3 episodes they're painful.
yeah, let's see. So they needed the soul of the girl that has the soul of the uh, high priestess. They needed a soul crystal ball, which can bring back the dead, and then the staff of life that can heal any wound. And that makes sense. Like, those are two extremely big magic items, and one highly.
Something very intrinsically linked to the goddess, something that's been touched by her divine power before, and not just like a little bit either, but like a lot.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and
Like that's
specifically,
very
she.
sympathetic magic. I like it.
Yeah, and she. And that high priestess very specifically cultivated her soul to, reincarnate into somebody. She wasn't sure if it would be the first person she reincarnated to, and it turned out it wasn't. It was her daughter. Assuming it was that, that's the first one she reincarnated into.
Assuming so, yeah. We do get a really good moment at the very end of episode 13, though, with Parn picking up both of the legendary swords and using them to carve through the barrier. That's good shit. I like that. That's hype as fuck.
Yeah, that's
But
hype as fuck. Yeah,
like
like,
Ashram, there's like the last 3 episodes are a fucking mess. I'm telling you guys.
yeah, yeah, it was very much, we are running out of budget and out of time.
Like Ashram, even though Ashram and Parn are there for the same thing to prevent the resurrection of the goddess Cardis, Ashram turns on Parn at the last minute and forces him to duel him while the resurrection ceremony is still ongoing. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? This does not seem like the fucking what do you call it? Almost clinical tactician that he was before, that he's been shown to be this entire time. Annoying. Annoying is what that is. Does Ashram even fucking die at this point in the record of Lodos War? Or
Let
does he
me
stay in control of
see.
Marmo for a long time? That's a that's a good fucking question.
Yeah, I'm reading it now. No, uh, they fucking sail to another world.
Following the events of Lodos, Ashram led his forces to the island of Cristania and made a pact with the evil animal god Barbas to allow his forces to enter the sealed island. And then he finally died when he was released from the pact, from the Barbas pact by Pirates and Redon. So Pirates also didn't fucking die where she did in this. Gods.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, oh, there's an issue where, Cardus could get resurrected. Let's fucking leave. And look for a place that will not be prejudiced against us. And he fucking set sail with his people.
Like he survives for like decades after this shit.
Yeah, and wasn't even involved in Wagner's later, actual novel attempt to resurrect Cardus.
Wow. The gods.
Yeah, but
I thought Piratessa's death seemed a bit like not okay. Like that didn't seem like something that would have normally been written by the person who wrote the rest of this stuff, you know?
yeah. Yes, he was actually a advisor, and right after Bell died, fucking destroyed a school of sorcery he used to go to.
Brutal.
Yeah, the Academy of Sages. Uh,
It's over at Moss, isn't it?
hmm?
It's in Moss, isn't it?
Let me see.
I think. I don't know. It doesn't really matter too much, honestly. But anyway, all the forces converge on Marmo from like all around Lodos, and the episode's called "The Final Battle," but it's not really a final battle. It's like it's a couple of like shots of people fighting, and then mostly a lot of talking. Which, yes, a lot of the rest of Record of Lodos War was like that, but in this case, I mean like standing still, lips flapping, slideshow kind of animation going on, which is significantly worse than what the rest of it was, which wasn't exactly amazing, but
Yeah, you felt
you
like you
know.
were doing something. Also, the Academy of Sages is in Alan, actually.
Ah, yes, okay.
But yeah, basically, Wagner was interested in forbidden magics. The headmaster there is like, yeah, I'm going to put a Gios on you, which will cause him to endure intense pain whenever he casts magic. Which makes a lot of things make sense.
Yeah. Also, Wang Rod. It's called Forbidden Magic for a reason. Don't touch.
Yeah. But also, like, I get it. Open the book, ring the bell.
Yeah. Let's see.
But yeah, that makes some scenes with him actually make sense. It's not like Cardis or Narse or whoever interacting with him. He just experiences pain whenever he uses magic.
Sucks for a mage, but like, that's what you get, fucker.
Yeah.
And like, the headmaster of that academy was probably in the right for doing that, considering what he did anyway.
Yeah.
Imagine how much easier of a time you would have had if he didn't have to fucking like go through the kiosk to get to where he went.
Yeah.
Shit. I wonder if Carla's vessels still age.
That is a good question.
We'd
I
have
would,
to
I
read
would
the light novel to figure it out, I think.
yeah, probably. I would assume so, which gives her even more reason to body hop.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking about the logistics of that, like how often she would need a body hop, etc. Like maybe like one of the reasons why she might want like a powerful vessel in terms of magic is that they can uh, withstand the stresses more or something, so that she can stay in one body longer.
Yeah, that would make sense. Because we don't exactly get to see her in Woodchuck's body for long.
Yeah, it's like a couple of weeks at most. Anyhow, and then like the whole ass party of like the PCs go into the fucking temple of Phalaris, I think it is, where Cardis's fucking body is entombed or her essence is entombed or whatever the fuck it is. We never actually see her. Uh, and then of course they slowly get split up again because of course they do. Because of course you need to have like Pard have his big damn hero moment at the very end, even though
Yeah.
it's probably not what happened at all in like the version where what was it was his name Spark, I think you said.
Yeah, Spark.
Spark being the guy that stopped the Wang Rod in the far flung future. I'm sure it didn't happen like all of the fucking party members slowly split up and like fucking to hold off some
Yeah.
goddamn monster instead of fighting them all at once at the same time, even efficiently moving on with all their strength.
Yeah,
You
if
know?
anything, Slane would have more reason to be the one going Uno, mano a mano.
Yeah.
That's his fucking daughter.
so, sorry, it reminded me of that fucking snip I took in the middle of the 11th episode where Lelia was like talking all like flirty like at Slane, and then it just shows his fucking like extremely chiseled, like goddamn razor sharp cheekbones on
Yeah.
screen. Damn it.
Hey, I mean, if you're into that, you're into that.
Oh yeah, like I'm not gonna yuck your yum or anything, but it was just very funny to me at the time.
Oh yeah, like the way that this animation kind of goes with the, it's just him. It just cuts to him smiling, and it does look weird.
Yes, Lelia. Lelia, speak lovingly to this handsome, chiseled face. Oh god. And then it's just him with his fucking rat nest of a hair.
Yeah.
Oh god. Anyway, like they get in there, and of course Ashram is there, and Ashram and Parn start fighting because of course they do. You gotta have Parn fight the villain and complete his arc, even though that's not actually Parn doesn't give a shit about Ashram for the most part. He genuinely doesn't. It's just like, oh yeah, that's a villain. If I see him, I'm gonna stab him, but like I'm not gonna hunt him down or anything. Or at least so far, that's how the dynamic has been, as far as I can tell. But fucking what's his fuck? Ashram kills Wangrod through various very vicious cuts, honestly. When I saw that fucking cut down the middle of his face, I was like, damn,
Yeah,
that's a nasty one.
yeah, like that at least is pretty damn good.
Yeah, that would kill just about anyone that's not being empowered by it, like the god of madness and destruction. Fucking brutal, which I really liked. But after fucking Ashram finally goes down to a combination of Parn and Wangrod still throwing his magic around because he's an asshole and doesn't die that easy. Uh, both of the evil guys go down. Parn picks up both swords, rips into the barrier surrounding Deedlit, and drags her out. And then we get Elf Nip, which Mal did not notice at first, but you can't hide elf nips from me. I will always see them. I honestly didn't expect it either. Like it surprised the fuck out of me when I saw that. I was like, hold on, what? I gotta rewind. What the fuck did I just see? But then we get a short scene of like people congratulating Parn on becoming the Knight of Lodos, which I'm sure is the actual title that he has as well. Uh, after the end of all of this shit, but that's it. There's no more substance there.
Yep. It is kind of yeah, we're going through the cliff notes of what we've decided the plot's gonna be.
Pretty much. It's genuinely like someone heard my explanation of what happened just now and then just fucking did that, and that's it.
Yep.
Like some dragons showed up for parts of it, but like only Nars and Mycen.
Yeah.
But like the other dragons were shown on screen, but they didn't actually like do anything. They didn't leave their dens. They just played the same clips that we got before, like when they first woke up, of the dragons coming out of sleep. That's it.
Yeah.
That's genuinely it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I am kind of. I knew it was going to be kind of rushed, but it was still kind of disappointing because the rest of it is so good.
Yeah, like that's where I'm at. Like it just, guys, please. I would actually murder to see someone like do another adaptation of Record of Lodos War.
Seriously, like if they did that right now, they would make oodles and oodles of money.
Give it the Freerin treatment.
Yes.
And like keep it mostly accurate to the books this time.
Yeah.
Give Parn and Deedlit the space to actually develop their relationship, please.
Please.
And same for Eto and the princess and Slain and Lelia. All of them.
Seriously.
Like the only reason that I know.
Oh, hi Bedwards. Yes, we do intend to finish Umineko.
Yes, we definitely do intend to, but I have just finished a massive round of physical therapy. So maybe soon. Maybe.
Yeah, the illnesses have been chronic. But yes, we do have the intention to finish. It just might take a bit. We'll see how we're feeling next week. To see if we start back up with that.
Hopefully. Fuck. Actually, I got my new schedule for the next while here. I only have one. I only have one appointment in the next 2 weeks, so maybe, probably, kind of, potentially.
Yeah. So, yeah, we do definitely intend to, and keep your eyes peeled for those notifications. And if you do miss a stream, I do upload all of them.
Yes, Mal has a YouTube channel that is the VOD storage.
But yeah, that was Record of Lodos War. Again, just kind of a little bit of a disappointing ending, but
yeah,
it introduced us to a lot of cool shit.
Like the only reason I know that like Laylee and Slain get together, for example, is because they fucking make eyes at each other for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like and in like 1990s anime language, that means like, oh, they already fucking.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be fucking. They're already fucking.
Yeah. So I think our next one is going to be Escaflowne. Is that the plan?
That would not be a bad call. I was actually going to ask if you knew what we should be watching next. I actually have a physical copy of Escaflowne somewhere. I don't remember where the fuck it is, but I've got one.
Yeah, so we will that so for our older series, it'll be Escaflowne.
Which, of course, To Be Hero X will be continuing on for a while yet.
Yep.
At least a couple more months.
Yep. And yeah, speaking of To Be Hero X, we do not we do not get the answer to the question of what happened to Moon. I'll start that.
Yes, we do not. Not at all. But before we move on completely, I did want to ask you, what's the anime that got you into watching anime as like a thing to watch rather than, it's TV or whatever.
Okay, so the anime that I watched that got me into anime proper, like looking up other anime after that.
Yeah, because like as a kid, I watched Inuyasha and Yu Yu Hakusho and Dragon Ball and fucking Rurouni Kenshin and Trigun and all of them, but that's not what actually got me there, you know? So I'm curious what yours is.
I want to say it was probably Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because everything else I kind of watched as their own things. And like, yeah, I went to the Pokemon movie and stuff like that, but I never, it was before the era where I could really look up anime.
Yeah, yeah. So for me, I was like passively watching Bleach and everything, just like whenever I saw an episode, like, oh yeah, I'll watch some Bleach. Fuck it, why not? And then someone in my French class of freshman year of high school looked at me and said, "You should watch Higurashi no Nakukoro ni." I think it is the full Japanese name, right?
Oh boy.
That sounds right.
Yes, and that sounds right.
Yeah, okay. You should watch that and another. And I was like, all right, I'll do that. And then I watched those two and went, fuck, all right, I guess I'm doing this now.
Yeah, I guess this is a thing now.
Especially another. Another was damn good. I actually still remember most of the storyline of that fucking anime, believe it or not. And all I can remember from fucking Higurashi is that it exists. There's a time loop, I think. I can recognize screenshots from it, but that's it.
Yeah.
So you know the kind of impact another had on me. Damn. It's been like, what, fucking 16, 17 years now since I watched another. Still probably like the only really good horror anime that I've seen. Shiki is pretty good, but it stops being horror after a while.
Yeah,
It starts being a tragedy.
Yeah, there's
It's also really, really good, and it's really good at both those things, but it doesn't stick the horror all the way throughout, you know? Beyond that, like I was just like fucking as soon as I saw another on some fucking streaming site, or no, actually back in the day, that was LimeWire hours, actually. Fucking downloading shit from LimeWire or FrostWire. That's right.
yeah.
I don't remember what the fuck I like really started getting into after that, but it's been it's all history from there. Fucking set my life trajectory right there. And now I'm almost fucking 30 and doing a goddamn anime podcast. There's worse things to do when you're 30, honestly. Way worse things. Anyhow, To Be Hero X. Let's actually get to it, shall we?
Yes, indeed. So yeah, we are. Well, I mean, we start with the kid having lost his parents.
Batman origin story style, except there's actually a hero to rescue him.
Yeah. Which is Isol.
Maybe the same Esol that we currently got, but probably not. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
We don't know yet.
That's the big question mark, really.
So I saw something in the comments of today's, or I mean Saturday's episode, but the episode that I watched today, that got me thinking because someone said they think they might be doing a couple of episodes or maybe just one episode a piece of each of the top 10 heroes backstories and how they got to the points of like being this top 10 hero. And if that's the case, we're gonna have to wait a fucking while for Moon's to figure out if Moon's actually dead or not.
I hope they're not doing that. I hope it is just we saw somebody in an Esol costume at the end of last episode. So we have to establish Esol now.
Maybe.
That's at least what I think.
If it is that first thing, I don't think I'd be too upset as long as it's well planned out. And then like as soon as like the next season or whatever starts, then everything is like starting to get resolved as the tournament goes on, sort of deal.
Yeah, because I figure what they can do here is just do Esol, because Esol's the next in line anyway.
Yeah.
Esol is number 9, so he's the one Lin Ling is going to have to face anyway, so we need to kind of know what's going on with him. Whether that was a dream or not, because I could understand it could be like a stress dream, like, shit, I'm going to have to fight Esol.
Yeah, and we still don't know if Lin Ling has fucking prophetic dream powers or if there's something fucking with him.
Yeah, like a nightmare villain or something.
I think it would be interesting if it is the former because that would be like a unique power all to Lin Ling and nothing to do with anyone else.
Yeah. That would be real interesting. And it would kind of make sense because he does start to get, supporters of a sort. Even before he comes out, because, the first dream he gets is when he does get the support of Miss J and company, who do know he is Lin Ling and not nice. So technically, they might count for his believer stat.
Yeah, potentially. All right. You keep explaining what the fuck happened in this episode. I'm going to skitter off to the bathroom very quickly.
All right, then. So yeah, we start off with a character by the name of Yang Chen. Kind of a directionless person who is into this girl, but also has been into this girl for years and hasn't done anything. So, he kind of needs to, at least to have a direction in his life, wants to, well, first off, he wants to meet Isol again, because Isol saved his fucking life, but also he kind of needs a job and a direction, so he gets on stage as a performer, for a Kamen Rider, or, that kind of thing, style performance.
Yeah, like a kid's stage play.
Yeah, kid stage play.
It would be interesting if there's two E-souls running around feeding off of each other's
Trust value, yeah.
things. Yeah.
We do have, at the performance, there's one kid who gives a huge critique because he knows everything about Isol apparently with his costume and his enemies and stuff.
Apparently, the kid, he says this a few times, and our dear perspective character doesn't quite understand it, apparently. But the kid says it a few times, and it's like he prefers it when the actor, is giving it his all and not like trying to rely on cheap tricks, essentially, like, the glowing shit and so on and so forth. He likes it when the vibes match, essentially, rather than any like direct faithfulness to Isol's current costume.
Yeah.
Which I can understand that. Like, that's great, especially for like adaptations in general. Yeah, it is more important that you match the vibes and get everything right than be strictly accurate to the details. And in fact, like a lot of the best adaptations add to what we see in the source material, right? And I think it's the same thing here for this dude doing his actor bullshit on stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe the kid doesn't have the vocabulary to express that yet, but that's what it seems like to me anyway. Yeah, what the fuck happens after that?
Yeah, kid's like, I got the vibe you like my sister.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Calls him out on that.
We do see that our prospective character is also fairly skilled, though not like an expert in like wiring stuff, like electronics and shit like that, because he like manually creates like some LED contacts and shit like that on the gloves of his costume.
Yeah, it just sucks because he has no trust value to power that shit. So
Yeah,
he has to work on the batteries alone.
it kind of sucks for him, I guess, but like, I don't know, nerd, be better. Something. It's interesting though because we also see how this society treats people with zero trust, and it's not well.
Yeah, which I have to wonder if there's a critique of social credit in there.
Potentially, yeah.
I wouldn't normally bring this up, but I mean, it is half made by a Chinese company.
Yeah. Like he's basically treated like a felon because he has zero trust value. But like he's an orphan, he has no family left. So like of course he has no trust value. He doesn't have anyone that's known him for a long time and can have faith in him.
Yeah, exactly. And we do see some of these people who exist in this kind of a shitty situation. Because we have these two kind of bruisers who showed up earlier.
Oh yeah, 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 the thugs.
Yeah. And they're told, hey, we can get you money, which they need money. And it's enough money for the rest of your lives. And they say, all right, what's the delivery? And the delivery is a person.
Yeah, which for some reason when I first saw that, like when I first read those subtitles and saw the scene and everything, I thought they were gonna kidnap like our perspective character, you know? And no.
Yeah.
I've gotta imagine it's that fucking rich kid doing this, right?
Yeah, you would think.
It's like there's a rich kid who constantly gets in our prospective character's way of like confessing or asking this girl that he likes out on a date, and it
Yeah,
always seems like it's like right time, right place kind of deal for him. But I don't know. There's just something in the back of my head that says this kid's rotten as fuck.
yeah, absolutely. Maybe it was a situation where he'd pretend to be the rescuer kind of thing, but
Yep, maybe.
because you know, the kid's her sis, you know, his sister. So, you know, save her little brother and shit. But no, because he sees it happen and he's in the suit anyway, but that doesn't matter. He would have done it anyway. But
Yeah,
he's,
it's just that the suit offered him like some minimal protection.
yeah. But he saw the kid get kidnapped, so he gets on his fucking bike and really fucking guns for it. Like, even at one time, getting ahead of them, getting on a bridge and jumping onto the vehicle.
Yeah, which is wild shit. Like that would hurt so much.
Absolutely, especially because the car eventually flips.
Yeah, and then they'll fucking go skidding down into like what is that? Like it's a canal, I think it is.
Yeah, like a canal or
Just an
ravine
empty
or
canal at the
something.
moment. It's probably like an inner city like drainage canal or some shit like that. We didn't really get a super good look at it because most of the fight was just like in this tiny little area with close up shots, not really showing too much of the surrounding area.
Yeah. And during that, we also got a little bit of Easel actually talking to the public during the fight scene.
Yeah, which was actually like a really nice narrative touch to like weave that over the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's like, many Easels stand here together. I feel gratitude for our shared ideals and common aspirations. People have asked me why I've never removed my mask in my 34 years.
Of course, while this is happening, our prospective character is like fighting off these two thugs, and there's people up on the sidewalks above the canal, like slowing down to stop and watch and be like, "Oh fuck, what the hell's going on here?" And that combined with the kid actually believing in him, like actually starts to generate some trust value for him. Enough that he's got at least a little bit of spark, at least.
Yeah, and he's able to
Not a
use it.
lot, but a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah, because he styled the two connectors he's got going on to go ahead and do it to shock the two thugs. And we can even see,
Unfortunately,
and
it seems like it also shocks him,
yeah,
but that's what you get for not working with grounded electricity.
yeah. And we can see that, like, the one touch I really like is we actually see him in the reflection of the kid's eyes. And he actually gets the helmet kind of overlay because the helmet got knocked off during the fight.
Yeah.
And he's got enough trust value that he's actually able to break some of the things. And also, we see him get his first believer when the kid calls him Esol, and it goes right into him, and the power seems to go through his fucking bloodstream into his heart.
Kicks him into overdrive, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Honestly, if this wasn't a story about superheroes, like this kid would have like lost some fucking teeth from all the beating he got.
yeah. Granted, I mean, sometimes they do lose fucking teeth. In the case of Lin Ling's fight. But we see the power of
Yeah, I'm
just
just saying, like
one
it's
believer.
definitely like a street level fight, you know?
Yeah. And we see the power of just one believer. Like, he grabs one of the thugs' throats and burns away at him with the electricity and knocks him back. It's real good.
Do you remember Rich Kid's name? I fucking don't.
I don't remember.
I'll have to look at the
Xia,
episode while we finish up
actually,
the.
he shows up later on. Xia King.
Hold on a
Or
second.
Jing Chao.
Let me, because I do know a few words of Chinese, at least when it comes to like names and honorifics. So give me a second. Let me look. As part of that might be an honorific. Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, his name is Zhang Chao. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, Shang Chao. That's it.
But yeah, of course he shows up again. Pure coincidence, right? Again.
Yeah.
At the very end of the episode where the girl he's got a crush on is like he's about to actually like show his face and be like, "Ah, yeah, it me." And then this guy shows up again, so he's like, "Oh fuck, all right, whatever. I'm getting the fuck out of here before I have to listen to more of this shit."
But then he's like, no, I'm here for
which
you.
honestly, mood, yeah. And then this fucking rich kid's like, "No, I pure coincidence. I'm here for you, guy."
Yeah, Yang Sheng. And okay, what the fuck do you want then? Which, I mean, fair, you did get publicized on, you might actually be on social media saving this fucking kid. Or at the,
Yeah, definitely.
So at
It
that
probably
point,
is, honestly, because we did see a couple people filming on their phones.
yeah. So, there's some good chances. And we do get the reference to one other hero that we know of now. Lucky Cyan, who is also a
Yeah,
top hero.
because the girl Ja something, I don't remember the second part of the name. Let's see, where is it? Jaching. There we go. Jaching. Um, she is a fan of Lucky Scion, and our perspective character probably is too, but he doesn't really mention it much. But it's great to know that she was active during this time as well.
Yeah, absolutely. This was about 5 years ago.
Um,
Yeah, about 5 years ago is what people said. I didn't realize that we were in year 41, but that is where we're at.
that sounds right. Like, it's at least a few years before like Lin Ling.
Yeah, but not so long ago that kid could be Lin Ling, which is what I thought from the preview. But no, that kid is not Lin Ling.
Yeah, definitely not.
So
But yeah,
yeah,
I'm interested in seeing where this goes. Whether we get more about Lin Ling and Moon, or if we're going to get more of this version of Isol.
yeah, I'm hoping what happens is we finish up with this version of Isol where he's going, and at the end we get some idea of what the fuck is going on with Moon. Was that another nightmare or not? Because that's the thing that is going to determine whether this is pretty good or like anime of the year.
I mean, a little early for that one, but yeah.
It might be a bit early, but specifically, I guess, whether it's pretty good or anime of the year contender. I'll put it that way.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Wait, we ain't halfway through yet.
Because, yeah, kind of bridging Moon would suck. given what she's meant to represent otherwise in the narrative.
Yeah. And I think it would be very interesting if Lin Ling kept having these dreams where he sees Moon dead like this in that exact position. And not just once, but like multiple times, you know? So it just like builds this constant tension in him as he goes through the tournament.
Yeah. And also, it just, I don't know. I don't think Isol's energy has been used like a bullet before. Or anything, or after, even. Like, he definitely can launch a motherfucker, but I've not seen him, like, put a hole in a fucker.
Yeah.
And also, it kind of doesn't make sense for where he's standing. Because it goes through Moon's head, and he's already just. I mean, yes, I know he's a speedster, but, why would he go to stand there instead? Other than for dramatic effect, I guess.
Yeah, I was thinking something about that, like when I first saw that episode. The angle doesn't quite make sense, but I mean, we'll see if they even care about such a thing as angle in this show.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. It's definitely going to have some huge ass question marks. I hope they didn't kill Moon. Not that I have a problem with killing off characters. I mean, this show started off with killing off a character, but rather just fridging Moon just doesn't feel good.
Yeah, fridging a character, no matter who they are, like never feels good. Honestly.
That's fair, but also double the fact that who she is, what she represents, what she wanted for herself.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's definitely made worse by all of that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, fridging somebody a general bad, but fridging Moon would definitely put a damper on things going forward. I'd still watch, but I would definitely be like, eh,
Yeah, we definitely lose at least one full point for that.
yeah.
It would be two full points if it was off screen, but it's not off screen.
Yeah.
Actually, gave the actual happening on screen, so
Yeah.
that's better, but not by that much.
Yeah. It just wouldn't deduct 2 points. Because we get blood on Lin Ling's eyeball and everything.
No, Phoenix, get down. Get down, fat boy.
But
No, be gone. Be gone, you fool.
yeah, just kind of an establishing episode for this version of ESOL, and kind of gives us a question of, is that the ESOL we have, and why then is he present like that? Is it a
I
nightmare?
think honestly that it might be like this guy might be our version of Easel that we know because of the arm thing.
Hmm.
Like it draws attention to his arms when he's fighting and when he's working on the gloves.
Yeah,
So I think maybe what happens is he blows his own fucking arms off
yeah, I could see how that
trying to
could
do
happen.
something. But that's like just my current theory. I'll need more information to say something more concrete, but it definitely brings attention to his arms a couple times. Like he's blocking blows with it by crossing them over his head. He has this unstable electrical device in his gloves, and The right one was actually sparking during the scene that he was working on it in. And let me see, to be Hero X site. Give me the site so I can actually like look at Isol real quick and see if it's his right arm. It is his right arm. That's the one.
Ooh,
That's the one that
buddy.
was sparking.
Yeah, and see.
Unless this is mirrored for some reason. I don't know
I
why
would
it would be,
imagine
but
not.
it could be.
Yeah, so yeah, Isol is number 9, Lucky Cyan is number 7.
It would be kind of funny if Ahu got like a full on 3 or 4 episodes as well
That
for
would be
this.
kind of great.
I think that would be pretty good. I guess the only hero that wouldn't get at least a spotlight if it's going the way that I think it's going to go would be X himself, but that's because you're supposed to find that out during the tournament, or at
I
least
don't,
that's what it feels like.
yeah, let's see. Actually, no, I don't think he blew his arm off.
What do you mean? That thing is definitely prosthetic.
Look at his character trailer, the short one.
Character concept or character story?
Character concept.
Let's see. That's not even the same outfit that we see in the splash art, though.
That's true enough. So that might,
And it still puts a lot of focus on that right arm during this fucking trailer too.
yeah. Granted, I mean, I guess, but he does kind of like get that, like his armor unit over it. So maybe, I don't know.
Also, here, this is what I'm talking about. You can see the like gold or brass arm there, and it is definitely like a prosthetic.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember we were talking about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's a situation where like it's usually covered in plate, but it can get blown off.
Potentially, yeah. Of course, that wouldn't apply to the version of him that we saw in the character concept movie because, like, in the character concept movie, it just shows his normal human arm, but it does still put a lot of focus on the right arm specifically.
Yeah.
The right arm touches the ground. The camera pans over the right arm when it's hanging to the side. You get the shots of Isol from the right side of his body.
Oh yeah, I'm correct. In the movie, we actually see it break, the plating break, and then we see that it is a prosthetic.
Yeah, I think I remember this when we watched it the other day.
I'm wondering if that villain is the rich kid. Now that we're
No, like because I think that's the Magic Man guy that we saw in the play as well.
yeah.
At least it's something magic guy, Magic Man, some shit.
Yeah. But yeah, we see the plating break and
Yep,
boom, prosthetic.
you're absolutely right that I think it's usually covered by plating, but that doesn't account for it in the concept movie.
Yeah, so maybe that's something from an earlier thing that will be part of like this next episode, but eventually his arm gets blown off.
Yeah, somehow, some way. I think I agree with that. All right, anything else for To Be Hero X?
Um No, it's just I hope we know by next episode what happened to Moon.
Yeah. Same, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think we're going to find out for a while.
I hope it's.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's not a while. If it's not next episode, the episode after.
Here's hoping.
Fingers
It just
crossed.
doesn't. It just doesn't feel like that so far. Because normally, whenever you do like one of these flashbacks, you also put the surrounding circumstances that is currently happening in the current time, in quotes,
Yeah.
around the flashback kind of deal. But they didn't here, and it feels a lot more like the introduction of a new arc or a new story in general.
Maybe. I think at most what we're gonna get is this is our introduction to Isol, because even if Isol didn't kill Moon, that's still who's next on the docket. That's going to be his first opponent.
Yeah, I mean, we'll fucking see on Saturday, I guess, or
Yep.
you will anyway.
So
I'll see on Wednesday.
yeah. So yeah, that's everything for To Be Hero X, I believe.
Yeah, fair enough. Already asked. We already got what we're going to be doing next after Record of Lodos War, which is Escaflowne. Um, wasn't there something about Ray Earth getting a new adaptation?
Yes, Ray Earth is getting a new adaptation. It was teased like 10 months ago, but we haven't gotten an exact date on it. But I feel like it's going to be soon that we'll get a date on it, because they'll do it for like the 31st anniversary. They'll probably say, all right, 31st anniversary, here's our announced date for the remake.
Oh right, yeah. There's also a an adaptation of the Otome Heroes Fight for Survival in the
Oh, yeah.
works, which I am greatly looking forward to because if they actually do that justice, oh boy, it's probably going to be one of the best isekai ever. Genuinely, like I read that actively and it is damn good. It's going to turn a lot of people off just by the fact that it has Otome heroine in the title, but believe me, it is an action. It is an action series. There's going to be a lot of fucking stabbing dudes. A lot of people are going to fucking die. It's going to be great.
Lovely.
Of course, the kinds of people that are actively listening to us talk about these kinds of things aren't going to be put off by the main character of a show being a woman, but still, I gotta say it anyway. It's not a romance. I know Otome says romance to you most of the time. Not in this case. She's in the setting of an Otome game, and she's supposed to be the Otome heroine, but she says fuck that shit and goes and becomes an adventurer instead. Which I think is just fucking excellent shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least
So,
what she does with that anyway, because it's fucking like a 10-year-old trying to become an adventurer. She got to be real fucking tricky about things.
yeah,
I think it's super good in the strategy department.
let's see. So, Escaflowne is 26 episodes.
Oh fuck. We're gonna have to watch at least one or two to see how the pacing is, so we can decide on like an amount per week.
Yeah. Yeah, so come in expecting us to have watched 2 episodes, but we might have just watched 1 episode, depending.
Yeah, well, it'll probably float between 2 and 3. I think that's most likely, but we will see. How old is Escaflowne?
96. 1996.
Visions of Escaflowne. You are right. Yes, 26 episodes. There's a movie.
Yep, but the thing is, the movie has nothing to do other than shared character names and a shared mech.
Interesting. Is it anime film? Oh, it apparently retells the story of the anime series.
Yeah,
So it's like a different adaptation essentially
Yeah,
of the
according
same
to the
material.
Reddit, it deals with much different themes.
Fair enough. Yeah. I
Yeah,
love that like the isekai genre was started by shoujo shit,
yeah, like it's actually primarily women as the focus.
which is kind of great. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
Give
it's
me more of that, by the way.
yes, give us more of that, and also it's just like it flies in the face of fucking asshole misogynists who are like, why we got so many female protagonists when we don't? But also, that's what the whole genre started with.
What really bothers me about that is that they will specify FMC instead of just MC in the in the comments or when they're just discussing the show. And it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah,
She's the main character. I can understand FMC when you're talking about like a romance thing, like a straight romance, and you're like delineating between the two main characters. Yeah, I get that. But
yeah. Where if it's
when
like,
it's just the main character, come on, buddy.
yeah, or like when it's I don't know, Fate or something where you can have two different protagonists.
Yeah, the Fate is like that, where you got like a bunch of protagonists. Or at least what little of Fate I've watched anyway. The ones that I have watched it, and I liked that. I liked that like there was a wide variety of perspective characters.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, but yeah, I will definitely be interested in checking out Escaflowne. Another fantasy plus mecha.
Yeah, like that's honestly that being the originator of like most isekai tropes is also amazing because you don't see that anymore.
Yeah,
You
like
get like generic fantasy stuff and not this weird fucking genre mashup. Which
yeah,
is like that's what I like though. Give me the genre mashup.
yeah. What is it? Knights and Magic is about the only recent one.
Yeah, that's the. I still haven't watched that. I should, but I think you're right. I've seen some Korean comics do something similar, but that's it.
Yeah, which is honestly a shame.
Yeah, there was one isekai that I remember that the protagonist who was isekai was not from our world, but another fantasy world, and that one had mechs in it.
Yeah, and then you have the Red Ranger isekai.
Yeah, but I don't know if I would count that as mechs or just like ranger shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, it is
I'm
kind.
pretty sure that's just ranger shenanigans.
I mean, yeah, that is kind of just Ranger shenanigans, but you know, for a good like weird genre mashup.
Yeah, it may not be my personal cup of tea, that kind of genre mashup, but hey, go for it.
Yeah,
I just don't like Ranger shit generally.
fair enough.
Go Go
Mainly,
Loser Ranger was pretty fucking good, what I read of it.
yeah, there is that. But I
But
actually
I think
do
that's
like
also because
Ranger
like you actually
stuff.
see people get their fucking throats torn out in that one. So
Yeah, there is also that. I like Ranger stuff. I just don't like how it still has a lot of problems with how it displays women.
yeah, that's fair.
You know, you get the Smurfette situation.
Although Red Ranger Isekai, I don't think has that problem, as
Oh,
far as I know.
was there more than one women in more than one woman in his group?
No, I don't think we even know who any of the rest of his group are.
Oh, okay,
Like
fair enough.
literally anyone.
Yeah.
But there's a fair amount of female characters and male characters in the manga from what I read.
Oh, okay. That's definitely good.
I
But I
stopped after a while, but
yeah, like I definitely like fantasy has gotten better about that, but I kind of feel like Common Rider and other things of that genre haven't quite managed to catch up yet.
Yeah.
Because with the recent Kamen Rider Gab, people going like, "Oh, she doesn't need a this character doesn't need a belt. She's good as the Team Heart." And I'm like, but
Gross.
Team Hearts make excellent paladins.
Yeah, right? Give her a sword and shield or something. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
And that naturally creates a lot of tension too, having your Team Heart also be your fucking frontliner. Like, shit goes south when your frontliner goes down, shit goes south when your heart goes down.
Yeah,
absolutely. Put them in the same character and you got like so much fucking tension going on. Yeah. That's like an excellent mine. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, that's the good shit right there. Come on. Hell, like, one of the reasons why Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash was so popular, at least like the one season, is because it did that. Specifically, the Team Heart was like a war cleric, and then he fucking died. And everyone fell the fuck apart.
Which, yeah, fucking fair.
Unfortunately, from what I've read, the light novels go way downhill, so kind of glad they didn't adapt that, actually, and Grimgar gets to remain unsullied, perfect 10/10 in my brain.
Oh, Pyrotest actually has another name in Cristania. Sheru.
Fair enough. Let's see. Nothing has been added to my weekly watch list. And nothing that I'm really looking forward to other than like what I've already said.
Yeah, pretty much.
The remake and Ultimate Your Heroine's Fight for Survival. That's all I got right now.
Yeah, like, let me look at.
I'm sure some other stuff will like come out and start getting advertised for the next season within a month or two, and then I'll have some more ideas on what I'm looking forward to. But until then, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've got Dandadan in July.
You know what would be fucking ridiculous? If Speedrun Isekai got a fucking adaptation.
Please, I would so love that.
That would be so fucking funny.
It would be so funny. And it would look great.
Like, you could animate that shit like a slideshow and it'd still look great, because that's kind of the point. What? Hello, my son. Come along. Yes, my boy. You want to talk again for the microphone? No? You're not gonna talk again? No, he's just purring. Rubbing his nose on my nose. All right, get out of here, buddy. I think that's it. I ain't got anything else other than like my recent resurgence of an obsession with fairies.
Yeah, which I mean, fair.
And not even like fae like I usually do, but like actually like fairies. Like the common fantasy kind of fairy.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Brain just said, "Hey, fairies now." I'm like, okay, I'm on it. Thanks, buddy. I'm gonna blame Swirl.
Lotus War and Sword World both really have cool ass like fantasy fairies.
Honestly, they're just like normal fantasy fairies. Like, it's the typical modern day fantasy fairy, but like I'm into that shit. I like that. Gallica's cute. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder if I should start up a Hero of the Fae and Warlords Battlecry 3, and then just use that to get my jollies until I can get a cable for my tablet. That might be a good idea. I don't know. Anyhow, anything you got anything else or are we done?
Let's see here. Looking at upcoming anime.
Lamau, no, go away. Sorry, get bought.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Uh,
Let's see, yeah. Hey, my anime list. Lazarus is not upcoming. It is currently airing. Get that out of here. Take me to summer. There we go. Oh, Kaiju number 8 is getting a second season in
oh, good.
this summer. Sakamoto Days as well.
Yep, definitely. Huh, there is actually a Yuri series on the upcoming.
Really? What is that?
Let me find it on my anime list.
Oh, fuck. Minogra is getting an adaptation.
Cool.
You motherfuckers better do that one justice. That one is a very weird and interesting isekai. There's a whole bunch of isekai people, but each one has a different system. Like, literally different from the ground up. Like, one of them is a strategy gamer, another one is an RPG player.
Ooh, okay. But yeah,
It's all about, like, how that interacts, and it's great. In fact, I think I sent you a screenshot of the main character of Minogra back when I was talking about the mute sovereign as a way to depict him, because like that's where I got the idea of that fucking black mass that people see him as. That's good. I'm ready. Let's go for that one. That one will be gross and gritty and weird, and I want it. Did you find the Yuri?
Yes.
You did. Give me that.
Yeah, the English title is "There's No Freaking Way I'll Be Your Lover Unless."
I think I've heard of this. Okay, that might be interesting. Shame it's about fucking teenagers again, but
yeah,
sure, I guess.
Romance anime is gonna romance anime even when it's Yuri.
Oh, that's right. Clevites is also getting an adaptation. That's right.
Yep.
That one could also be pretty good. That one's just like straight up fantasy. That's not isekai or anything. That's just fantasy with a female main character who is actually very strong and capable. So, like, that one could be very good. Could also be very fucking awful, though, depending on how it's handled.
Then there is also the new Panty and Stocking series.
Oh, Demon Slayer is actually getting its final arc as a movie. Anime movie trilogy adaptation of the Infinity Castle arc. Okay, so it was getting it as 3 movies. Sorry.
This one seems kind of interesting. It is The Stunned Hero and the Assassin Princesses. A powerful warrior struggles to form a hero party due to his shyness, but then 3 pretty girls join his party. What he doesn't know is that all 3 plan to assassinate him.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Is there a source material for that? Because I might want to read that while I'm winding down for bed today.
Let's
I got a
see.
doctor's appointment in the morning, so.
Yes, indeedy do.
Yeah, all right. You got a manga dex link?
One moment.
So I will catch up on speedrun isekai, and then I will immediately start watching that. Or reading that. Thank you kindly. Let me see how weird this gets. Of course it's a comedy. Excellent. Yes, you couldn't do this without it being a comedy.
Yeah, of
If you
course not.
did, it would be the most like nerve-wracking, anxiety-inducing shit possible.
Yeah, seriously. It would also be very short, more than likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cleva
All right.
Tess looks interesting.
The manga is good at least. I wouldn't rate it as one of my favorite fantasies, but it does have a strong female main character, warrior, not mage, warrior. She's even called a hero, capital H. So, that it's already ticked a lot of boxes for me, and it doesn't need to do much more than that, honestly. But it did do much more than that. It's actually pretty good. It's not one of my favorites, but it is up there.
Yeah, and then
I think it's probably in my top 100 fucking fantasy stories. And if you guys only knew how many fantasy stories I fucking read, or watch, or play, that would be very impressive. Because I swear I read a new one like at least once a week.
yeah, and then there's
And
the
it's been like this for like 10 years, so.
anime original that's coming out in July called Necronomicon no Cosmic Horror Show.
I think I've heard of that, actually. I saw something about that. It's a Lovecraftian eldritch comedy.
Yeah, it is the series and follows Miko Kurono, a junior high student who streams under the name Necronomico. She becomes involved in a virtual reality game. And
Oh, this is not the one that I thought it was. Okay, this might be interesting. Yeah.
yeah, which she
me see
explores
this.
alongside her childhood friend Mayu and her rival Kana.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. I'm interested. All right.
Yeah, and
You got
like
any others
starring
to share with the rest
girls.
of the class?
Hmm?
You got any others to share with the rest of the class?
Nope, that's it. I think we are
All
actually
right.
done.
All right. Well, that's what we're keeping an eye out on for the next season then. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully Monday, but definitely Wednesday.
Yeah. See you guys later.